But on the Republican side, there's also trouble. Tea Party conservatives, as well as the hard right, continue to reject the moderate wing of the party.
When you stand in the middle of the road, you're going to get hit on both sides of the road. We need to take a stand. Ted Cruz, Mike Lee, some of these guys actually were fulfilling their campaign promises, and they asked for debate. That's why they stood up. They took the stand, fought for us to debate the issue of Obamacare.
So while Republicans are united against Obamacare, they're fighting each other over ideology. The scorecard looks like this. The moderate Republican leadership features Chris Christie, Jeb Bush, John McCain, Marco Rubio, and Paul Ryan. The Tea Party hard right leadership is headed by Ted Cruz, Mike Lee, Rand Paul, and Sarah Palin. At this point, there's no détente. Both sides are far apart. Now, last night we discussed Republican politics and received thousands of emails. Kevin Artery, who lives in Covina, California, writes, "Bill, I'm sick and tired of you and Goldberg calling conservatives the hard right. We already tried McCain and Romney, who were moderate Republicans, and we got crushed. Christie is one of them." So it seems as if Mr. Artery is not even considering voting for any moderate Republican. The question is, will he stay home if a non-Tea Party person gets the presidential nomination? Jean Nair, who lives in Port Jefferson, New York, will stay home. "There is absolutely no way that anyone in my house will vote for Christie after his kissing up to Obama during the hurricane. I'd rather see Hillary win. Christie is a traitor like you, Bill." Well, I didn't cozy up to the president, and T-Points does not take offense at Jean calling me a traitor. She's emotional about her convictions. But there comes a point when people who hold strong beliefs have to make a decision. If the Republican Party remains divided, they'll be defeated in the midterm elections next year and lose the presidency in 2016. The GOP situation is exacerbated, word of the day, exacerbated by the media. The liberal mainstream media, which despises Republicans, encourages the Civil War. Talk radio and some on cable news stoke the fires of conservative ideology by labeling people that compromise rhinos Republicans in name only. With President Obama on the ropes, Republicans have a huge opportunity right now. But it looks like that opportunity may slip away. And that's the memo. Now, for the top story tonight, let's bring on Fox News political analyst and another rhino, Charles Krauthammer. I don't think you're a traitor like me, but you're a rhino, and you know it, don't you?
As Brit Hume says, I'm a rhino in name only, which means I'm in a new category. We're going to call ourselves hippos.
And hippo stands for?
I don't know. I just made that up.
But you can get it in an acronym. Hippo, hypocrisy.
Exactly.
You can do it.
It's got all the resonance.
Yeah, it's got all the letters, the proper letters.
Look, I think this whole thing is, as you say, very much blown up by the liberal media because it's a great dramatic story. But here's the fundamental contradiction. I think this analysis is wrong. It's fundamentally wrong for this reason. The difference between what are being called the hard right and the moderates, the rhinos and the true believers, is really one over tactics rather than over ideology and objectives. Let me give you one example. Is there a disagreement, a fundamental disagreement, between one faction and the other over, let us say, Paul Ryan's radical reform of Medicare? I would say no. What we're talking about is whether it was a good idea to shut down the government, whether it's a good idea to adopt a tactic here, a tactic there. On objectives, you tell me what is the fundamental difference between the so-called moderates and radicals.
Okay.
I don't see it.
But it doesn't matter.
Agree. Let me just say one thing.
Go ahead.
We all agree on limited government. We all agree on a restoration of individual rights. We all agree on liberty being the central ideal. We all agree on the restoration of individual responsibility and initiative.
That's true.
So where's the big difference?
No, but that's true that there isn't a lot of philosophical difference, but there is in play an intractable, I don't want to call it hatred, but bitterness is the best word. And you hear it on talk radio. You hear it. Yeah, I'm not compromising my principles, and these rhinos like McCain or whatever. Listen to Sarah Palin talk about Chris Christie. Roll the tape.
Hillary Clinton was mistreated when it came to appearances, when it came to wardrobe. petty, superficial things that the men don't ever seem to hear much about, but a woman candidate will.
Governor Christie hears about his appearance.
That's because it's been extreme, okay? So it's hard for some people not to comment on it.
All right. So when you have somebody as high profile as Sarah Palin, the way she should have answered the question was, listen, it's wrong no matter who gets it, And maybe, I don't think Sarah Palin meant anything by that comment, but you can feel the anger in the Tea Party. You can feel it. They feel betrayed by Romney. They feel betrayed by McCain. And GD it, I'm not going to go through that again. It's out there.
Look, if that clip you just showed is your best shot at showing me the great bitterness in this divide, then you made my point. It is trivial. That wasn't a shot. That was kind of a sociological statement about why there's comment on women more than men. Look, I think this is ginned up by a lot of players for a lot of self-interested reasons. Again, the fundamental point is we all agree on how the government ought to be changed.
All right, let me challenge you with a fact, okay? You're a big fact.
Me with a fact.
You're a big fact guy.
I'm a big fat guy.
3 million
fact
fewer.
Guy.
That's right. 3 million fewer people voted for Romney than McCain. All right? If all of the Republicans who voted for McCain and independents had come out for Romney, he would have won. And there was an anger against Romney because he looked at, Romney Care and all this other business. All right? So I'm saying that you're right. Philosophically, there's not much of a... It seems like the two could merge. But emotionally, Charles, you must read your mail. You must see the emotion. Thousands of letters poured in last night attacking Karl Rove, Brit Hume, Bernie Goldberg, me, you. Attacking. I mean, really attacking.
Yes, I get the mail also sent to me directly.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why I'm calling for this new Hippo caucus. Look, I get that as well. And my response is, I understand there are a lot of sentiments, emotions, and feelings here. But let's try to cool this a little bit by looking rationally at what are the real differences. And they are tactical. The question that we had, the fight that we had, where the blood ended up on the floor, was it a good idea to shut down the government in demanding the abolition of Obamacare and then the 1-year delay of Obamacare?
But you said it wasn't a good idea.
I said it wasn't.
I said it wasn't.
Right,
and but Charles, we were attacked on the radio, in other cable news forums, just for saying tactically that wasn't an idea, and the facts borne us out. O'Reilly and Krauthammer were absolutely right, according to all the polls that showed Americans did not like this by a huge number. But look, when we said that...
I'm used to being right. I don't want to dance in the end zone on this one.
But are you used to being attacked for being right?
Well, I've been attacked a lot over the 30 years. So I'm, if that... I would be out of the arena if that was insupportable. And I understand people who said this is a time when you want to stand up. I just thought it was the wrong tactic at the wrong time. Look, what we have, as you mentioned in the opening, we have not just Obamacare unraveling, not just the Obama administration unraveling, not just the Democratic majority in the Senate, but we could be looking at the collapse of American liberalism. Obamacare is the big thing for them, the biggest in 100 years.
Absolutely.
And this is a moment when we have to be calm. We have to understand what holds us together on the right. We have to watch and explain why the failure of the left is happening. And if we do that, we will win.
All right. Charles Krauthammer, everybody. Be sure to check out the doctor's best-selling new book, Things That Matter, 3 Decades of Passions, Pastimes, and Politics.